Have you asked yourself one of these three questions? What is player development? What's the path to getting into player development? And how do I create impact in the lives of athletes? If you have, then the player development webinar is for you. I have recently been hosting a run or a series of player development webinars that happen on Sundays. Hey, you need to be there. We just finished one. I'm recording this on a Monday. We just finished one yesterday. It was incredible. We have people that are in the space. We have people that are interested in the space. It's just been a great gathering of people that are interested in or in player development. There's a lot of people who are passionate about creating impact in the lives of athletes. And so this webinar is to help kind of mold that passion into an action plan. So the first thing we talk about is what is player development. In the webinar, we talk about what player development is. We talk about what the definition is, the benefits of player development, the impact areas, what it can look like, how it is different at every single place you will go. Yes, it is different everywhere you will go. But we break down player development to a T. Break it down. You know, your science teachers would tell you, dissect. We dissect what player development is so that you can have a great understanding and see if that is the role you want to be in. From there, because we talked about what player development is, we take the natural progression into what a game plan or what a path can look like to get into player development. We dive deeper and dissect the 5 things you need to do to get into player development. Those 5 things are doing your research, having a plan, knowing your value, being intentional, and following up. And we dissect what that looks like. And I give tips of how you can do that. And then we end with the player development plan blueprint. This is where we break down a blueprint of what a plan could look like. I love this part of it because you get a document from me where you can take those passions that you have and put it on a document and look at it and say, okay, here are my pillars of the program. Here are some components. Here's some actions that I can take to create impact in the lives of athletes. So if you have any, once again, if you've had one of those 3 questions, if you ask yourself that, or if someone's asked you, or if that's kind of in your brain, if you looked at a podcast episode, if you have about one of those things, then you need to come to a player development webinar because you get all 3 of those together. Those are the major questions I am asked about in regard to player development. So we brought it all together in one webinar. The link is in the show notes for you to go jump on. I would love to see you on a Sunday. Come out to the webinar and spend time with us. Once again, if you're asking what is player development, how do I get into player development, and how can I create a plan of impact for players, you need to be there. Now, another place you need to be is the Player Development Summit. It is going to be in May 2025, May 29th through the 31st here in Kansas City. Yes, sir. And we're going to gather. We're going to have people in the role. We've done it virtually for 2 years. I'm excited to have the first in-person summit. It is going to be incredible, and I want you to be there. As I always say, go out and create generational impact. Don't wait. Create that generational impact today. Click the link in the show notes. Sign up for the next player development webinar because we out.